money pieces. So you can use money pieces to add and subtract fractions whenever you have denominators that are factors of 100. The reason being is that 100 is the total number of cents we have in $1, as you'll see right on the side here. So if your denominator is a factor of 100, use money pieces. Well, what are those factors? Some would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, 25, 50, or 100. So if our fractions have any of these denominators, money pieces would be an option for us to use. All right, let's practice. So here is going to be my problem for today. We're going to start with an addition problem, and then we will do a subtraction problem. So let's start with 1/2 minus 2/10. I'm sorry, I told you we would do addition first. We're going to do 1/2 plus 2/10. So the first thing I need to do is figure out, well, what is half of $1? Well, looking over on the side, I'm going to pull my dollar piece down. This is my base piece, right? There's 100 cents in here. Half of this will be the $1/2, which covers up half of $1 and also equals 50 cents. So one way that we can write this fraction would be to write it as 50 over 100. That's 50 little pennies here out of 100 total. So that is one way we can write this fraction. So 1/2 equals 50 out of 100. It also equals 5 dimes, or 5 rows here, out of 10 total. So another fraction we could have would be 5 out of 10. Last but not least, we could break these up as if they were nickels. And we can count here. We would have 1 nickel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 nickels out of 20 total nickels. So all of these fractions here are equivalent to 1/2. Now let's take a look. I'm going to erase all of this, get this all out of the way. And now let's take a look at 2/10. So I'm going to bring another dollar here. And so I'm adding these together. So we're going to be combining them. 2/10. Let's first look at our denominator of 10. How can I figure that out? Well, I can figure out what 1/10 of 100 is. And how I would do that is I would take 100 and I would divide it into 10 even groups. And I will get 10. As you can see here, there are 10 rows. Right? 10 rows of 10 pieces in each row. So I'm going to be using dimes for this. And we know that 1/10 equals 10. So that is going to be 1 dime. But my question is asking me for 2/10. So I will need 2 out of 10 rows colored in. So I need 2 dimes. So 2/10 is equal to 20 cents, out of 100, right? 10, 20. And then it is also equal to, if I were to split these into dimes, I would have into nickels. I would have 1 nickel, 2 nickels, 3 nickels, 4 nickels, out of 20 total. So those are the options for our fractions. now we need to figure out our common denominator because we can't add 1/2 plus 2/10 until we have the same denominator. So we want to pick our favorite fractions down here to use. Well, I said that, I'm going to switch to black now. I said that 1/2 also equals 5/10. So I could change my 1/2 now, and I can do 5/10. And now I can easily add my fractions because now I have the same denominator of 10. So I could do 5/10 plus 2/10 and I would get 7/10. Another way I could do this is I can move my pieces. I can move my 2/10 over and add them together. Now I can see that I have 7 rows out of 10. Or 70 cents out of 100. Or if you want to get fancy and go to nickels, you could break that apart. We don't need to get into that though. But these are some of your options for answers. All right, let's do some subtraction. So we're going to start over. Again, we are only using money pieces when we have factors of 100. So our subtraction problem is going to be 3/4 minus, let's go 1/5. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over my money pieces. Okay, so I've got my full board here, and I want to figure out 3/4 of a dollar, and I want to put it on this money piece. 1/4 of a dollar is going to be, if I were to figure this out, I'd look at 1/4 of 100. So I'm splitting up 100 into 4 even groups. 100 divided by 4 is 25. I know that a quarter equals 25 cents. So I'm going to pull over 3 quarters because I have 3/4 of a dollar here. So I've got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Let's take a look. What other type of money is here? So we've got quarters here, which equals 3/4 of a dollar. Another way that we can write this, and I'm going to write my fractions in blue down here, 3/4 can also equal 75 cents out of 100. It can also equal, so really we can only do this out of pennies and out of nickels because we don't have even rows of 10. We could, if we want to get technical and do decimals, but we're not getting into that. So let's look. We've got 75 cents out of 100. We've got 25 cents here, 50 cents here, 75 cents here. That is where I got my 75 out of 100. Now, if I wanted to break this into nickels, I would count every piece that is 5 cents. So here is 5 cents. Here's 1 nickel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 nickels out of 20 possible nickels that could be in a dollar. So here are fractions that we can use. Now, let's figure out what 1/5 of a dollar is. So I'm going to go back to my red pen. And now I want to figure out 1/5 of a dollar, which is 100 cents. So I want to do 100 divided by 5. And when I do that, I get 20 cents. But there is not one coin that equals 20 cents. So I have to use 2 dimes to equal 1/5 of a dollar, because this will equal 20 cents. So here I have 1/5 of a dollar. All right, we are subtracting here. So we've got to think, either figure this out in common denominators and subtract, or do some coloring. So 1/5 of a dollar can also equal, 1/5 can also equal 2/10, right? We've got 2 rows out of 10 total. or 20 cents out of 100. I have my new fractions now with my new common denominators. Let's use our 100 as our denominator here. So I'm going to change out my fractions. 3/4 is no longer 3/4. It's now going to be 75 cents out of 100. And 1/5 is no longer going to be 1/5 because I need a common denominator. So it is going to be 20 out of 100. Now, I never subtract my denominators, so I'm going to be subtracting numerators only. When I do 70, I'm going to do 75 minus 20, and I'm going to get 55 cents out of 100. Boom. All right, if you continue to need help with money pieces, please let Miss Fisher know. Whoops.